I definitely have a lot less to say about this episode compared to the past few episodes, but one thing I really want to give credit to is the fact that I've seen enough anime at this point that no matter the genre, no matter the style, more times than not, I have a pretty good idea on how they're going to progress a story, how they're going to execute it, how they're going to animate it, because there is this kind of template that all studios use. Because I've seen so many of these battle series, I was under the impression that unless we're focusing on the really main central characters, because even though we have our central main character Deku, and then you could also say All Might, but there is some very important side characters, and then the others who half the time you may not remember their names, or you rarely see them on screen or on page if you're reading the manga. So more times than not with these types of series, because we're in this kind of battle tournament here, you would skim past the characters who are less important. You would kind of just show a still frame and kind of pan to show, oh, this is who won in this battle, this is who won in this battle, and you could clear about 5 matches in 15 to 20 seconds. A lot of anime do that because they want to focus their meat and bones of all their animation on the important fights, the more interesting fights, but they didn't do that here. They actually gave time to show all of these individual matches. Like, even though they were kind of like one shot, one kill kind of a thing, we still got to see it. And it impresses me because, like, this isn't the only thing the series has done. Non-stop, it does things that feel so formulaic, but it goes outside the box and adds its own flair to it. And I think a lot of people would watch and say, yeah, I mean, we got to see a couple of fights and some of them were interesting, some of them weren't that interesting, but it's impressive we got to see that. Because most authors and anime studios would just skim past it because they would want to focus on the more central characters that are the fan favorites. So I'm really happy that we got to see all the individual ones, so now we're on the last of the beginner matches there, the first level matches, and we have, I think her name is Urika or something like that, I forget her name, but it's something like that, Gravity Girl, she can change the gravity or whatever, and we're going up against Bakugo, and that's going to be a really interesting fight, and if this was a more typical shonen series, I would be able to predict that she would come out on top, because oh, she's going up against an opponent who's obviously much stronger than her, so of course she's going to somehow have this plan, she's going to somehow manipulate him. But either one could win next week. I honestly have no idea, and I like that because the series has laid out, just because other series do things a particular way doesn't mean we always will. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But I have such high standards for the series, which is interesting because Season 1, even for anime onlys, is praised as a really good season. For myself, it was good. It wasn't anything that amazing or groundbreaking. It was the prologue. It was setting up the setting, and if that's all there ever was, I wouldn't think too highly of the series. But Season 2 is getting into that meat and bones, really showing you what the series wants to be, and of course it's only ever going to get better from here because now we're getting into the substance. And it's really impressive to see what they've done so far in this season and the level of quality and care that has so far been present, not just with the art and animation, but the writing as well. It's fantastic what they're doing. And I have no idea how next week's going to go down, and I absolutely love it for that, because every single episode, something sticks out that I think, if this was another series, they would have went very typical, very predictable, but in the case of My Hero Academia, it never is. And when it is very predictable, it still has some sort of charm and flair that sets it apart from other series, while retaining that classic charm that we all know and love for newcomers and older shonen fans alike. It does this brilliantly in such a way that so far it's sticking out as one of the most impressive battle series that I have seen. Obviously, I would need a conclusion to call it one of the best of the best, and if we'll ever get that, who the hell knows. But for right now, what it's doing with this tournament arc is bloody fantastic. What I really appreciate is all the characters are kind of sticking with, because a lot of these characters have sided with Deku, teaming up with them or just being around him, because even though he's this weak guy, some of these characters rely on him, and I like how so many characters, it was Ida few weeks back, he's saying like, I'm not going to team up with you, Deku, in this race because I want to be able to prove that I don't need you. And then Urika herself is also doing that, saying, I don't want your plan, I'm going to figure this out myself because I've been relying on you too much, I need to overcome this, because if I don't overcome this, then I'm just going to be your sidekick pretty much. And I really like how they're handling that, but what's really cool is watching some of the superheroes, even the characters who might lose, they look at these heroes and say, wouldn't that guy or girl make an awesome sidekick? And it's just really entertaining watching some of these superheroes being like, oh, this girl would be a great sidekick, let's recruit her. And then the other heroes will just kind of smack around and be like, get back to work kind of a thing. So I like how even if they do fail here, you can still impress certain heroes. In the case of one of them, literally just advertising her, like, machinery, sacrificing the match to Ida to just say, oh, and this is what this piece of technology can do, and this is what this can do. They all have their individual goals. Some just want to be recruited into a business, but others want to be a sidekick to a superhero, and I really like how they're handling it because these Like, even if they lose, it's not like, oh, you lose, you suck. It's, wow, if only this was different, or you have a lot of potential, I may want to recruit you later. It's really cool to see how the superheroes are kind of interacting with these sidekicks. Now, granted, they haven't really directly talked to them, but you get to hear their thoughts, and it's really interesting to see how impressed they already are, even for some of the characters who have already lost. As always, this was just another really solid episode, and I'm really impressed with the series overall. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Were you impressed with the episode? Did you think it was just okay? And what was your favorite match in the episode and why? Before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.